Happy Wednesday. How are you, dude?
I'm great. And that's the wonderful thing about live streams and doing live streaming is because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, how many times have we have live streams and people have had, someone come to the door in their
Right.
office
Right.
or if they're working from home, the dog barking, kid
Right.
walk into the room,
That's right.
or God forbid, the internet just dies and we're sitting there to talk by ourselves. It's always fun.
We've had all the above. So, hey, today we're talking about LinkedIn Live, why LinkedIn Live is such an incredible business development tool. And in particular, we want to talk about LinkedIn Live for beginners. Okay.
Yeah.
So every week we talk about, business development. So let's just kind of recap, but then we're going to talk about some of the basics for anybody out there that was interested, wants to start like, hey, I want to try this LinkedIn Live thing, right? So, from a business development standpoint, I don't know of a greater, more powerful tool than right here on LinkedIn Live. Damon, you've been doing this for years now. Just, real quickly, the reaching out, the engagement, just share like, how is this such a different, it flips the script on that outreach. What are your thoughts?
It really does, because you're not making a cold call. You're not sending out a cold email. Well, you might be sending out a cold email, but it's got a much different message in it, right? Because you can research who you want to talk to and talk to them about something they're passionate about and invite them to come on the show and share it with your audience, which is, as you can tell just from hearing that, it's dramatically different outreach. And then that just starts the relationship building process.
Absolutely. So again, from a business development standpoint, we've talked about this extensively. We're going to be talking about it more and more, giving examples. We have some clients coming on in the upcoming weeks that we're going to talk about this further. Next, it's just, it's an opportunity to create a content machine. It's just, since the mid 2000s, it's been, blogging. And just, unless you went to journalism school, it's just difficult to sit down and knock down a blog. It's just so much easier just to kind of share your passion through video. And then, we've been seeing some incredible results with keyword rankings.
Yes.
By getting those important keywords of yours, we call them our RICs, those ridiculously important keywords into the headline. And we're seeing a lot of folks, starting to get quick rankings through live. And then, most of all, it's just building these wonderful relationships, right?
Yes. Yeah. The relationships are it's really just tons of fun. I mean, let's just get down to it. It's fun to do business development this way because you're meeting cool people. You're learning a lot of stuff. You're listening to them talk about something they're passionate about. You're helping them share that with the world.
Right.
And you're getting to know them.
You're getting to know, and just, just the emotion, the power of the entrepreneurial origin stories that we get to hear week in, week out, the struggles, the challenges, I'm on the verge of not making it, but then the turnaround. We've had, folks that have shared some really deep, vulnerable, personal situations. I shared a couple examples with you earlier. It's really, I find, irreplaceable of what, and I don't care what field you're in. If you're selling products, if you're selling services, financial sector, whatever it is that you're doing, it's just, this is such a great way to get your message out there. So let's talk about, how does somebody get started, Damon? So say there's a dear friend of ours out there. If you're out there, drop us a note, let us know where you're coming from. Love to hear what you've got going on in your world. Damon, if for somebody that's just starting out with LinkedIn Live, what's a good first step? Where do they even start?
Well, I think the one thing that I did when I first started is I talked to somebody that had done it, right? And I mean, now, when was it, Curt, that I started? It was like 2019 or 2020, something like that.
Yeah.
Started doing it. And that the software wasn't really as good as it is now, because like someone today should just go watch a few StreamYard YouTube videos and they can literally get started. And you don't have to do things like we did when we started. You used to have to apply to get LinkedIn Live, get approved to do LinkedIn Live. I think if you got over 100 contacts or something, or connections on LinkedIn, now you can do it, or something pretty simple. So the thing that I would suggest, get on StreamYard, create a free account, connect your LinkedIn profile to it, and then try it. What's it hurt? You get on and you don't even get crazy with microphone, camera, nothing. If you got a laptop that's got a camera in it, a microphone, that's all you need to start trying it, right? and that's honestly what I did. I was going to pull it out here. I've literally got a $19 microphone that I started with, and I used it for many, many years. And that thing was like, and now it's my Rode mic actually. Here,
Yeah.
Look, it is literally $19. It's got a little stand and everything. You don't have to get fancy. Then I bought a camera, and then I bought a better microphone, and then even some lights. I mean, you can, if you're into it and you really like it, for $200-300, you can get set up pretty nicely and to be able to do it. But to start out, don't do anything other than your laptop. Get yourself in a quiet place, get your laptop up so it kind of looks at you. So you're not looking down into the dark thing, and give it a try. Get a free StreamYard account. You don't have to pay a thing. Don't have to pay to be on LinkedIn and go live on LinkedIn, and give it a try.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's funny. I've got my laptop right here. I mean, this is where, when you and I started, I was just doing my laptop for ages. My wife was like, should you step it up a little bit? And I've got, buddy, you get those guys that give you, we can call it tough love, or maybe they love tough. How's that?
Yeah. There you go.
They love you tough. And so, you'd get the note like, hey, dude, what do you're way too close to the camera, or, your hair's a little messed up today. Those, I get all those comments, so, but the thing is just putting yourself out there. And like you said, a $20 microphone, get a camera, just, and if you don't want to do all that, just start with your laptop. But the big thing is just getting started. If you had any interest, when podcasting started, 20 years ago, whatever, like, what's this podcast thing? Well, what podcasting was 20 years ago, in our humble opinion, is what live streaming is today. And it's just such an incredible, powerful tool just to get started. And like in cost wise, and like you said, you literally could do it for almost nothing.
Yes. Almost nothing. You're right. And the other cool thing that you can do, if you want to start live streaming, you start doing it a little bit. And like we said, you got your free StreamYard, you've done a couple lives, just lives about, hey, this is what I did today. I did something interesting to me today, or just anything like that.
Right.
And then once you start, if you really want to get into live streaming more, then you're going to get to think about things like we talk about in our course about what's my show going to be about and other things. But as you get started, though, the thing that I found that was really helpful is there's a lot of YouTube videos on interview skills for live stream, interview for podcasting, interview for blah, blah, blah. And then go back and study some of these masters, these people that have done it forever. You look at Jimmy Kimmel, you look at some of these other people, watch how they talk. There is a structure to the way they talk. And when you learn that, it makes it so much easier, because you don't have to. I mean, great conversations with people is about asking the right questions and learn from the people that are really good at asking good questions. And that will help your live streaming even more. And I didn't even think about that until someone gave me that tip into it a while. And I was like, wow, that's really good. And then you start studying them and you go, there's just so much you can learn, and it's not hard. Again, and then we're still not spending much money, right? At all. You're spending a little time.
Right. And so, and again, just kind of going through the boxes that you're checking, right?
Yeah.
It's, unless you're just blessed with just business coming your way, then this might not be the best direction. But for most of us, we need to be out there pounding the pavement, like the expression, like if you don't hunt, you're not eating type thing, right? Yes. So if you need to be in, you have to be in business development. What a great way to do it is by knocking on doors. Now, let me play a little devil's advocate. I was talking with somebody recently, and I was like, going through this whole process, and they're like, I'm like, well, if you got into this, what would your competitors say? Would you feel that they would be like, man, what's this guy doing? Or, he was like, my customers are so primitive and behind the times technology wise. He goes, they would probably be like, why are you wasting your time doing that? And so, if it's not for you, not your right industry, not your right, like, hey, this isn't for everybody. Right. Yeah. And with marketing, like what with marketing numbers, if you on Google ads, let's just say,
oh, wow. Yeah.
If you bet in Google ads, if you bet 2%, if you hit 2% in Google ads, you're like a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So meaning if you strike out 98% of the time on paid ads, man, you can make you get up to 3%, striking out 97%. Like, you're going to make you're going to be phenomenal, right? Your Hall of Fame status. So here, it's, how much business are you driving? But again, the process is so much different because a paid ad, it's just like you're putting something out there and interrupting somebody's day
Yes.
of like, hey, do you want my product? Do you want my service? Where here you have the opportunity to create community. Talk a little bit about, we were just talking last night about, 4 years ago when COVID hit, you started creating community. What has community meant and done for you and your business?
Yeah, that I tell you, and this, Curt, it's just, I mean, you build some friendships and relationships that are so just life enriching, really. And then you think about the opportunities that they've brought, either for collaboration or just getting to know people that are really, and learning from them. It's incredible. And when you can expand your community to the world, which literally, you think over the last few years, we've had people from all over the world on our shows. We've had people all over the world in our events, and getting to know some of these people pretty well. And really, like I said, learning from them enriching our lives, us, the work that we're doing, enriching their lives. It's just a wonderful thing.
Well, I think the key word right there is learning, right? And to flip the script on the learning part is like, what do we love to say is like, be that fierce educator. So if you're in business development, if you're in marketing, and I know it's so easy to be, hey, buy my product, buy my service, right? Buy, please, right? But if you flip the script and you come in with just that fierce, unapologetic attitude of being an educator, right? I'm just relentlessly committed to educating my customers, my ideal buyers, and like you just said, from a learning standpoint, look at what a blessing and what a gift it is. The folks that come on that we've interviewed, and like, I learned something new every time.
Yes, definitely. And it is so cool to be able to, you get this one-on-one time, because you'll get into a live stream show, and your guests will come up with something. You go, oh my God, that's really interesting. And then you can just ask more questions. And it's something, and if it's something they're passionate about, it's even better, because then you really let people understand them. And if it's interesting to you, hopefully it's really interesting to the audience as well. And the conversations you can have are phenomenal.
Yeah, just priceless. And, like, for example, we spoke with our mutual friend, dear buddy, Dave Chrysler.
Yeah.
Dave Chrysler, he came on the show, and he said something to us on the show that I think about every single day now. He said, for you to be efficient, for you to be effective, for you to scale your business, you have to do one of three things. You have to be focusing on, you need to either, whatever's on your plate.
Yep.
You either need to automate it, you need to delegate it, or you've got to eliminate it. And you and I, boy, if we could master that, man, it would be that. I'm looking forward to that day. But if you can focus on those three things, and again, that was from our show, and we could be here, we could talk for hours about all the incredible things that we've learned from friends, folks that we've just met. We've had folks that come on the show for the first time. We meet them as they come on the show. And like, you and I are just taking notes like crazy, just like it's a masterclass with these people.
Yeah, it is. It really is something. And, so if you're a beginner and you're looking at live streaming, you're thinking about this could be a great business development or community building thing for you, I would highly recommend, like we said, just you set a number free StreamYard account, hooking it to your YouTube or your LinkedIn Live, first of all, and then your YouTube, because I think you can go 2 or 3 places with a free account, and then try it. Yep. If you got a laptop, if you got an iPhone or Android phone, you can do it on those too. It all works, right? Yeah. And just get started, because you will be very surprised at how easy it is to get started and get going. And then the steps beyond that are, there's a little more work to it. And if you decide to do it as a, solid business development tool, it's a good idea to get a little more advice or training on it. And, we do have a free course on that we could give people access to if they want to look at that. But it's just it's not hard to do. And it's so much easier than, hey, I'm Damon. Would you like to talk about this? It's like,
Yeah.
So much easier than that.
And we've got clients that have gone this direction now, one-on-one clients that are now, and now like they're all in, right? They're just like, oh my goodness, this is phenomenal, going this direction. And so the thing is, for folks that are like, you know what, man, I'm stretched. I don't have time. And a lot of times, like if your marketing is a little bit scattered and just like, okay, I've got something that I thought of today, I'm going to post it today. And next week, then like, oh gee, I haven't posted, like there's always that pressure, and it's not even fun. Now it's like, now it's a burden, you know what I mean? But then if you don't, you're a best kept secret. So like you've got to, you've got to get a message out there. What this does is it creates a structure. And so even if live streaming isn't your thing, like just creating that structure and that consistency. So if you're going to be emailing, if you're going to be posting on LinkedIn, if you're going to be putting out a video, if you're going to be doing whatever it is, like 12 o'clock Eastern time on every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Pacific, you're going to find Damon and I hanging out here chatting on our Monday and Friday show. Same time every week. We've been doing it for years. Same time that, and I just know, okay, that's my marketing time. That's my business development time.
Yeah.
That's my content creation. And, we don't have time right now. We're going to wrap up, but just the amount, how you could repurpose all of this content. It is just so efficient.
Yes. I mean, you just, you talk about repurposing it, and it's a whole different topic for us, but it will make your content go so far. And I just can't even, we need a whole nother session to talk about that. And we will.
Yeah.
Going back again, LinkedIn Live for beginners, how you get started with LinkedIn Live is really, like I said, it's so simple.
Yeah.
StreamYard, free StreamYard account. Connect your LinkedIn account, and then set up a little live event in StreamYard. You can look the YouTube videos and give it a try. Or I think you can even just go live now. You don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
So just do it and try it.
Just do it and try it, and you know what? Next week, we're going to dive into StreamYard. We're going to talk about how to use StreamYard. So we'll come back and talk about that. And then, what? We'll have a repurpose, in our course, we do office hours.
Yeah.
And I geeked out and I showed everybody how we repurpose. And I think I overwhelmed everyone because it's if you're seeing it for the first time, it can be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get there? And we show you step by step how to get there, but it can be daunting to get there. But I mean, again, you can put out and produce so much great content. Your, SEO value, sales enablement tools.
Yeah. I mean, I think on our website now, we've got over 500 blog posts now.
Right.
And I think I've written maybe 10 in the last 5 years.
Right.
So it makes things much easier because you just pick a subject and you talk about it.
Right. Exactly. So, all right, we're going to wrap up for today, man.
Awesome.
Just thank everybody catching this. We appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. Damon, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. If you have any questions, man, connect with Damon. He's got a few followers on LinkedIn. Connect with myself, Curt Anderson. Love to hear what's going on in your world. We've got a free course. If you guys are interested, send us a note. We can send it out to you guys. So we'll be back here. We have an incredible, amazing guest. We've got Rob Howes is a guest on Friday. And so we'll see you on our live show this Friday with just more energy and inspiration.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
See you.